Hello, welcome to Laser Etched Canvas Bag. My name is Ken, I'm the Digital Services Specialist. Today I'm going to walk you through how to use the free vector graphics editing software called Inkscape to create a design that will be laser etched onto a canvas tote bag. Here is a picture of what the final product will look like. In order to complete this tutorial, you do need to be registered for this program through our website. Due to a limited amount of supplies, only registered participants can submit designs for this program. If you did not register, but you are still interested in learning about Inkscape, I recommend you check out my other videos for designing pint glasses and leather-like coasters. Those links are in the description of this video. After your design is complete, please send the PDF file to digitalservices@balibrary.org. I will then send you an email when the bag is ready to be picked up. Also, feel free to email me with any questions that you have about this project. Before we get started with our design, I will show you how to download Inkscape on your computer. So go to inkscape.org and then go to the download tab here and click on current version. And then scroll down to this section. If you have a Windows computer, go ahead and click on Windows. And most likely you will want to download the 64-bit version. If you have an older computer, then go ahead and download the 32-bit version. Then your download will start and your computer will prompt you on how to complete the download process. If you have a Mac computer, then all you need to do is just click this button and then Inkscape will start downloading instantly. After Inkscape is downloaded, let's go to balibrary.org to download the template for this project. Scroll down the home page. Under Upcoming Events, click on Register/View All Programs. And then over here under the keyword search, go ahead and type Canvas. And then go ahead and click on Laser Etched Canvas Bag. And the template is located right here where it says link to the Canvas bag template. So click that and that will bring us to a Google Drive link. And then you'll want to click on this down arrow and that will download our template. So then this template will be inside the downloads folder. Now let's go and open up Inkscape and I'll show you how to import this template. This is the default view of Inkscape once you open it up. So let's import our SVG file. We will go to the File tab and then go to Open. And then go ahead and find that file in your Downloads folder. It is called canvasbagtemplate.svg. And then click Open. When you first open up the template, it might be too far zoomed in. A really quick way to see the whole document is if you hit the 5 key on your keyboard. Then that gives us an automatic zoom and we can see the full page of the document. Now, you may be wondering if the design is oriented the right way. And yes, it is supposed to look sideways here with the word handles, vertical instead of horizontal. This is just because I have to lay the bag in this direction inside of the laser cutter, so it just saves me some time at the end. I'll show you how to rotate your design to give it the correct orientation. Also, another thing to note about the bag is we want to keep our design within these lines. So We want to keep everything inside of this box for best results so that our design doesn't go too far toward the edge of the bag. You can zoom in and out inside of Inkscape just by hitting the plus and minus keys on your keyboard. And if you ever lose track of if you're too far zoomed in or out, go ahead and hit that 5 key again, and that will give you the nice automatic zoom. Now we're ready to start our design. I'll show you how to do 2 different types of designs. The first is by going to a website called monogramframes.com to create our design. And the second way is to find an image on the internet, download it, and then convert that to an SVG format inside of Inkscape. Go to monogramframes.com and then scroll down the page. This website is really easy to use and straightforward. You'll see that there are fonts over on the left-hand side, and then there are the frames on the right-hand side. You can scroll through and see all the different types of frames, and recently they just added a lot more than they've ever had before, which is nice. They also have these categories over here, so you can choose anything you like. So first go ahead and select your frame, and then come over here to the fonts. If you see the single letters, then they'll only type single letters actually. So if you want to do multiple letters, then just choose a font that actually has multiple letters here. Once you choose your font, then you can come up here to where it says type your letters, and then just go ahead and type your letters. And down here there's a slider where you can adjust the size of your letters within the frame. If your frame has colors in it, that is fine, but just please note that the laser only etches one color, so everyone's design will kind of look similar to this, where it's going to be like a dark brown on the canvas bag. So anything that's black will be etched, and the white will remain the color of the canvas bag. So when we're ready to download our design, then just scroll down the page here, and then click download your files. And then scroll down here and click that you've read the terms and conditions, and then go ahead and click on SVG. That's the format that we want. And so now we see that it's downloaded and it goes to our downloads folder. So now we're back in Inkscape and we want to import that file into our template. So let's go to File, and then this time we'll go to Import, and then choose the monogram frames that just downloaded. Click Open and click OK. Okay, so let's resize our image. Go ahead and click on it, and then you'll notice that these arrows show up. Hold down the Control key and then click and drag on one of the corner arrows, and then that will increase the size. If you don't hold down Control and you just click the arrow, then you'll notice that it kind of warps the image. So just keep that in mind, that we want to hold down Control. We can also type in the size up here. Let's change it so that it is in inches instead of millimeters. And then if you click this lock, then it will adjust the size of both of the dimensions together. So let's say we wanted it to be 7 inches wide, and then that makes it just a little over 7 inches tall. So now that I like that size, I can rotate it. I'm going to click on it a second time, and when I click on it again, you'll notice that the arrows change to rotation arrows. So then hold down Control and then click and drag an arrow so that you move it 90 degrees, and so your text is facing the same way as the handles text over here. So now that it's the size that I want and it's the orientation that I want, I am going to center it on this page. How to do that is you want to make sure that you have the object selected, and then come over to the Align and Distribute menu here. If you don't see it on the side, then go up to Object and then click Align and Distribute, and then this menu will pop up. And so we want to center this relative to the page. So go ahead and choose Page from this drop-down menu. And then I want to center it both vertically and horizontally. So I'm going to click on both of these buttons here. And so now it's perfectly in the center of the document, which is what I want. So the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this text that says handles, because if you don't delete it, then it will show up in the final version, and I don't think you want that. I just put it here just to use it as a reference guide. So go ahead and select the text here and then just hit delete on your keyboard. And then you're good to go. You can leave these lines here because those lines will not etch onto the final bag. So now that we're done with this design, let's go up to the File menu and then choose Save As. And then go ahead and save it as your first name and your last name .pdf, just so I know exactly who it's for. And we do want to save it as a PDF file. If it's not already a PDF file, then go to this drop-down menu here and find PDF and select it. And also, you will want to choose a folder on your computer to save it to, and then go ahead and click Save. So after it's saved to your computer's hard drive, then you just have to attach it to an email to digitalservices@balibrary.org. So now I will show you how to download an image from the internet to use in your design. So when you are searching for an image, it is a good idea to either type the words clip art or silhouette into your design. So for example, I am going to search for a stack of books, and I'm going to also type the word silhouette in there, and then go to images. And anything that is black and white will be a lot better. You can choose color, but just make sure that it's not a lot of colors. Like if it's just red and white, that's better. If I search for clip art, for example, then we'll see I get more colors, and it is possible to convert these, but you might find that the image doesn't look as sharp as if you just got a black and white image. So that's why I prefer to do silhouette. Okay, so I like this image. I'm going to save it. So I right click on the image and I go to Save Image As. And then I'm just going to title it Book Stack. And I'm going to save it to my Downloads folder. Okay, so let's go back to Inkscape and import this image. In Inkscape, again, we go File and Import. And then we find the image that you saved, and then click Open. And then go ahead and click Open again. Now, because this is a JPEG image, we have to convert it to an SVG format. Okay, so make sure that your image is selected, that there's a box around it, and then go up to Path, and then click Trace Bitmap. And then go ahead and click on Update over here if you don't see your image right away. And then you will see a preview here. So depending on if you want it darker or lighter, you can change the brightness threshold over here. You can click the plus sign or the minus sign. For my image, it's very simple, so I'm not really going to change any of it, but feel free to play with the brightness threshold over here. And then I'm going to click OK. And then after I click OK, then it converts the image. I can close this box. It places the SVG on top of the JPEG, so if we click and move it over, we'll see that this is the SVG and this is the JPEG. And let me zoom out here. We know that this is the JPEG because you'll notice when I hover over the edge, this line doesn't go through. So that's how you know that it's the JPEG image. You want to keep the one that you can basically see through and that like the edge of the document, the lines will go through. So we want to keep this one. So I'm going to delete that JPEG and then move this over here. And then I'm going to zoom back in. So first I will resize my image to make it a little bit smaller here. So again, I hold down Control and then click and drag. Okay, that's about the size I want, but you'll notice that I have some unwanted text down here in my image. So what I'm going to do to get rid of that is I go up to this second tool, this tool that says Edit Paths by Nodes. And once that's selected, then you'll see that you can like edit each little node here, which is kind of cool. So this is pretty easy for me to delete. I'm just going to draw a box around it here and then hit delete. So if you have some unwanted piece, that's how you can delete it. Probably not necessary for yours, but that's just a little bonus. Okay, also I want to show you how to add text to it if you want to personalize this type of image. If you click on this A tool, that's the text tool, and then go ahead and click over here, and then you can type a name or message, whatever you want. Now to change the font size, you can come up here and click this drop down menu. I definitely want a bigger size. And also to move the text, you will have to choose this first selection tool up here and then click and drag there. So let's go ahead and look at some different fonts. Click back on the letter tool and then you'll notice that the font list shows up here. Go ahead and click on inside of that box there and then you can scroll down or up using the up and down arrows, and then you'll notice that the font changes automatically. So just go through and pick a font that you like. I have my text and I have my image, and right now they're separate, but I want to combine them before I rotate them. So I'm going to go ahead and place my text exactly where I want it there. So I think that looks good. So now if I just draw a box around both of them, it'll highlight both the text and the image. So now I want to group these together. You can go to Object and then click Group. If you want, you can do Command and G if you're on a Mac, or Control and G if you're on a PC. That's the shortcut to group the items. So now you'll see that they're grouped. So when you move one, the other will move with. Now that they're grouped, let's rotate it. Click a second time so that the rotation arrows show up. And then again, hold down the Control key, rotate it, and then I also want to center it. So go to the Align and Distribute menu, and then we want to align it to the page again, and then click on vertical and horizontal, and then it centers it in the middle there. And so again, the last thing that we want to do is delete where it says handles here, and then we're good to go. Go back to File and then Save As, and just repeat the process from earlier in this video. Okay, that completes the tutorial for the day. Again, Please submit your designs to digitalservices@balibrary.org. Also, feel free to email me with any questions. So thank you for participating, and I look forward to seeing your designs. Take care.